Hi, it's Elise here at Bowman Library with a whole new teen book spotlight. So this week marks the start of our 2021 Youth Summer Reading Program called Tales in Tales. So I'm going to encourage you to head on over to hanleyregional.org/youth summer reading, and it is there that you can find out so much information about how to sign up, how to earn prizes, how to track what you read this summer. And every single week during our summer reading program is a new theme week complete with badges and activities, including, this book talk being one of those activities. So you watch this and you've already checked off one of the things you need for our badge this week, which is Tales of Summer Adventures. So every single book we're going to talk about here in a moment are books that take place during the summer months. And they could have stuff that deals with, your normal summer things, or we have some fantasy options, we have some mystery options. So let's get started so we can see some of these amazing books that are all about summer. So our first one is When Dimple Met Rishi. So Dimple comes from a traditional Indian American family who would just really like her to be concerned with finding a husband, even though she is just still graduating high school and getting ready to go into college. And Dimple, she's just all about, though, going to Stanford and getting into the world of coding. She doesn't need time for what her family expects of her. Rishi, though, is from the same type of family, and he has embraced this idea of an arranged marriage set up by his parents. And believe it or not, his parents, they've met Dimple's parents, and they've decided that Rishi is going to marry Dimple. Rishi knows this, but Dimple has no clue. When both Dimple and Rishi find themselves at the same summer web development conference, Rishi goes right up to Dimple on the streets and introduces himself as her future husband, and she has no idea what he is talking about. She thinks he is this major creep, and she just launches her iced coffee at him, which lands over him, and there's disastrous results. As the summer progresses, though, and they become friends and co-workers at this conference, they both soon realize they have more in common than what they thought initially. If you like your romance with a strong female character and a side of some coding and app development, make sure to pick up this title for a great summer read. This is When Dimple Met Rishi. Camp So-and-so. So Camp So-and-so is advertised as your typical overnight camp, filled with all your typical amenities and activities. When 25 girls arrive to spend the summer, they are divided into 5 different cabins. The girls soon find themselves, though, in strange and dangerous situations, and each of these depends on what cabin they are in, because each cabin is going through something different. Like, one cabin faces a different task in bizarre situations, like dealing with dark forces. Another is about eluding psychotic murderers. And one of the other cabins is tasked with breaking this epic curse. And there's figuring out true love. It's just all these weird things. Well, each cabin, again, is going through their own challenges. All of the girls, at first they don't want to talk about what's going on because they think they're the only cabin going through this. But when they start talking to each other, they uncover what is actually really happening at this camp. And there may be someone behind the scenes pulling all of the strings and orchestrating this. If you like your summer adventures filled with mysteries, adventures, supernatural, horror, this book has all of that and more. This is Camp So-and-so. When the Stars Lead to You. So science and star-loving Devin takes life very seriously. But the summer when she is 16 years old, she finds herself camping at Yellowstone National Park, and she meets this guy named Ashton on the beach. They quickly fall in love, and Devin finds herself completely lost in this perfect guy. That is until the end of the summer, and he just completely disappears. He is nowhere to be found. There's no way to contact him. And Devin finds herself trying to pick up the pieces of her life. When she thinks she's finally on this right path, a year passes, and Ashton shows up the first day of school, their senior year of high school. He is now a new student at her high school. everything, that Devin tried to pick up the pieces of, everything leads right back to that one perfect summer they spent together. And then secrets start to be revealed and explanations are given. Devin will need to decide what she wants to risk her heart on once again. If she wants to risk her heart on, getting involved with Ashton with everything that comes with it, or if she needs to risk everything on her future. This realistic romance tackles heavy topics such as mental health, suicide, and racism with frankness, and there are no easy answers or decisions in this book, just like life. This is when the stars lead to you. Love, life, and the list. So the start of summer before her senior year of high school, Abby sets 2 goals. She wants to get her artwork accepted into a prestigious art show, and she wants to get her best friend Cooper to realize that he feels the same way that she feels about him, that she has had a secret crush on him for years. When her artwork ends up being rejected, though, because it says in the letter that it lacks heart, she makes a list of things and experiences she needs to have and do throughout the summer in order to open her horizons and find out who she really is. This is easier said than done, though, because not only is she trying to juggle her summer, her father is currently deployed overseas with the military, her mother has this increasing anxiety, and Abby starts to realize she needs to take on more responsibility in the household, and she needs to decide whether or not she wants to move on or needs to move on from Cooper, even if that means their friendship as well. If you like a good, lighthearted romance that is all about challenging yourself to find new things while also figuring out who you really are, this is an amazing summer choice. This is Love, Life, and the List. The big game of everything. So Jock thinks he is the only sane and normal one in his family, but you do everything you can for family, no matter what that is, correct? Which leads him and his brother to spending their summer working for their grandfather at his eccentric golf course. As their grandfather's health starts to decline, though, they soon come to learn of the many conflicts there are surrounding the golf course, including one with their grandfather's 2 oldest friends who constantly try to best their grandfather in terms of material positions, status, relationships. Jock decides he's going to start doing things his way and figures out what actually makes someone or something a loser or a success, or maybe in between. If you love a realistic story that revolves around sports and family, make sure to check this one out, The Big Game of Everything. And our last one is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I'm going to tell you this right now. You have to read this book, okay? And I promise you need to read it through the end, okay? So Katie comes from old money, and each summer, Katie, along with her cousins Johnny and Marin, and their mutual friend Gat, have spent their summers together at the family's private island off of Cape Cod in Massachusetts. The 4 of them are always together, and they are known as the Liars. The summer, though, when she is 15, Katie has a horrific accident, and for the next 2 years, she finds herself having amnesia, migraines, and trying to piece everything together that led to this life-altering event. You'll be right along with Katie as she tries to, again, to piece what actually happened, and you will be learning with her right at the same time. There are time jumps in this book between the past and the present, and it is filled with suspense, mystery, and drama. And this book, again, does not disappoint. Get all the way to the end because it pays off, and there's a slap you in your face moment where you'll be reading this book with your mouth hanging open, and it will haunt you for way longer after you close the back cover. This is We Were Liars. So these are just 6 of the books that we have here at the library that are all about summer adventure. So we encourage you to come on down, check out one of these, or we can help you find that perfect read to kick off your summer. So again, I encourage you, this is our first week of summer reading. Head to hanleyregional.org/youth summer reading. Sign in, check off the activity for our Tales of Summer Reading Adventures badge, because you watch this book talk, read one of these books. And I hope you tune back next week when we have a whole new theme for our summer reading.